Sorry about that. Phone turned off, so I had to start this again. So as I was mentioning, thinking back to 2010, we forget about these moments that happened to us, these traumatic moments. Just because we just kept deflecting it. We didn't allow ourselves to fully process it and feel the emotions, the trauma, the energy moving through us. Like we stopped it because we didn't want to have that reaction. Maybe we were in public, we didn't want to cry in public, we didn't want to yell, we didn't want to process what we were feeling, so we just put it down, we packed it down, how so many of us do. So like I said, I put the book down, and I thought back. I'm like, all right, well, what was I going through that time? I was going through a breakup. Well, I went through a breakup in that year. I went through a breakup, and then, a few months later, started seeing each other again. But it wasn't. It was a very dramatic. It was a very toxic situation, back and forths. What is it called? A trio, love triangle, something like that. So it was very. I was putting myself in that situation, and so I was the one really bringing harm to myself. But going through that, also in that year, I became a father, and then a month after the baby was born, found out I wasn't the father. So I was going through that identity crisis of like, who am I? I thought I was this now, and went through the experience of like, the 9 months, and then like being there at the birth, and like this is my flesh and blood, and then having a connection, being there with the baby, having those moments and those memories, and God, how beautiful they were, and then to realize this is fake. This is not real. Well, I mean, it was real. The moments and everything was real, but not my kid. It wasn't my son. So getting over that, traumatic. Plus also, the relationship with the girl was tough. So that, and then let's see, what was it? It was then like the following year. Well, at the end of that year, I was going through, still kind of going back and forth with the ex-girlfriend, and then I was so fed up. That I needed to, how can I say? I needed to medicate myself in a sense. So I went and saw this friend, this girl, who I hadn't seen in a few years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go out and have some fun tonight. I'm gonna go have some fun. I'm gonna do whatever is gonna be done. And the thing is, I didn't have a car at that time. So I was living with my grandparents, and I asked my grandfather if I can borrow his car to go to my friend's house. I didn't mention to him that it was over an hour away. I lied. I lied to him, and I took the car because he said yes. And anyway, next morning, I was hungover, and I was like, you know what? Shoot, I'm supposed to be at church at, I think, like 10 o'clock. My mom was a choir director there, and I sang in the choir. It's like, there was guilt. I was like, shit, I need to go. And that morning, it wasn't a heavy downpour, but it was raining. Roads were sleek. All I was thinking is, shit, I gotta get home, or else my mom's gonna kill me. I mean, not literally. She might hit me with a spoon. Throwback to 8 years old. I don't know. Anyway, it's a funny memory now. But so I was thinking, I gotta get home, and I was coming to this curve in the road, and I mean, the speed limit I think was 45. I must have been going 50 or 55. Being 20, 23, 24 years old, I did not handle that curve well, and I skidded, and I went off the road, hit a telephone pole, and then fast speed just right into a tree. I thought I was gonna die. And if I still had a photo, I'd include it here so you could see the car. But the car was horrible. I mean, couldn't be driven ever again. Anyway, so that traumatic moment, your body locks so that you can protect your bones. That's what your muscles do. They're here to protect your bones. So in that moment, you tense up. You tense up big time, and then on that impact, your body takes that hit. So that's a traumatic moment, a physical traumatic moment. Now with the emotions of like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, like harm's gonna come to me, and then after that it's like, I crashed my grandfather's car, he's gonna hate me, I'm not making it to church, my mom's gonna be upset with me, I don't have a car, I can't go try to win back my ex-girlfriend, I can't get to work. All these things, these emotional things add to the trauma. And then years later, if you go through if you haven't processed those emotions and you go through a similar experience, your body feels that, your body takes that back on. Now I'm like, well, how long have I had, these issues? Like, when did it start up? And I've been saying, like, I've been telling my mom or one of my friends, like I think I've been feeling it for about a year, maybe a little over a year. And I'm like, what has happened in the last year? And I thought about COVID, the shutdown. So there's it was living alone in a 400 square foot place, losing your job. I lost my job, September of 2009. So that was in that same year too. And there was a surgery, I forgot about that as well. He mentions in the book, usually having surgery and like recovering after that, it's also very traumatic. So see, 4 things. And so here in this last year, lost my job from COVID, from the shutdown and everything. Let's see, I was growing, there were some relational things happening that were adding to it because, living alone and loneliness and all that. So, but then in October of last year, I got into a car accident, not too far away from over here. And I haven't been in one since 2000, the end of 2010, so in that year. So, and it was the same thing, just impact and body locked yet again. And I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, is my body just reacting to that memory, that physical, emotional memory from, let's see, how many years ago is that? More than 10 years ago, but it's just amazing. And then I started processing it in the moment, like thinking about it. And it was emotional because I was feeling it, and I was realizing, and I just started speaking from that memory, like how I was feeling, what I was feeling, and like all the thoughts. I didn't judge the thoughts. I'm like, I took away my grandfather's freedom. I contributed to his life declining, ultimately to his death. You got to be honest with yourself, because those are your thoughts. You can't, and that's why you can't tell everybody, because they'll be like, no, it's not your fault. They're coming from a good place, but that, and I've done it too, but that does not help. You just got to listen, because the thoughts, the feelings are real. It's their experience. It's your experience. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't censor yourself, being like, well, no. I'm not responsible for. No, this person died because of the A through E, whatever. You just have to feel it to heal it. It's so important, because then once, why do you think kids get over things so quickly? They're upset and they yell, they're like, I want it now. And then like a few minutes later, maybe, hopefully, they're over it. They're off doing something. They're playing outside. They're playing in the yard. They get over it because they express what they're feeling, what they're thinking right then in the moment, and then they get over it. Imagine if we did that as adults. It's a great thing, because I thought I was going to be in this cycle, half an hour ago, of feeling this for a while, but no, you go through it for a few minutes, you get real with yourself, you don't judge it, and then you feel better. I feel like so calm. So anyway, kind of went on a rant, but just remember, where focus goes, energy flows. Think about where your focus is going. Sometimes a lot of it is subconscious. So think about where you're putting your attention to, what people you're bringing your attention to, your how can I say, you're not renting out, but you're giving to others. It's all about you, meaning like What do you want out of your life? What are the people that you want in your close circle? It all comes down to what you want. So, whether you do it today, you do it tomorrow, you get back to it, take the time. Take the time to get real with yourself and see what comes from it. Have an amazing week.